The Loot, also known as Bloody Tattoo, is a 1980 martial arts comedy directed by Eric Sang Chi Wai. This movie contains a star-studded cast, including David Chang, Norman Choi Soo Kung, Philip Ko, and Lily Lee. These four each play key characters that are central to The Loot's plot, and despite the comedy that I mentioned, there's also a murder mystery at the core of its narrative, so let's get down to it. The story begins with Fong Chung, played by Norman Choi, as he's tracking down a jewelry box that an outlaw known as Thief Black Wolf ended up taking for himself. He makes his presence known to the thief with the signature trademark of another known thief/killer known as the Spider. Upon seeing this alarming sight, the outlaw is immediately ambushed and attacked by Fong Chung as he makes his intentions clear about taking all of what's inside the box from him. After a brief exchange, Black Wolf is put in his place, and Fong Chung climbs out of the window with the goods just as Robert Young Wai, played by David Chang, steps in. Young Wai is fresh off mopping up one of the outlaw's partners, and while he had planned on doing the same to Black Wolf, he soon realizes that Fong Chung has already beaten him to the punch. As it turns out, Young Wai is a bounty hunter who catches criminals for profit, but as of recently, he's had bad luck with Fong Chung constantly on the prowl. On multiple occasions, Fong Chung would steal loot from outlaws that Young Wai has been hunting down, leaving him with no additional gains besides the money he makes from capturing criminals and bringing them to the police station. After another failed attempt at getting both the bounty and the loot that a separate thief tried to take thanks to Fong Chung's interference, Young Wai is given a new opportunity by the security chief to track down the prime suspect of the Lunar Palace jewelry case that took place 20 years prior. The suspect's name is Chu Fun, played by Kwan Young Moon, and while it seems like he's currently living a cozier life after eluding capture for his crimes, he too is suddenly alarmed by the same spider trademark from earlier before getting attacked. After a knife and a bomb are sent his way, one of Chu Fun's servants is killed, and when he goes back to check on her, a calling card of the spider is left at her feet. This prompts Chu Fun to send a message to his former partners from the jewelry case and their relatives to meet with him. On top of that, he also enlists the help of two bodyguards. One is Young Wai, who was initially looking to bring him in, and another is the son of one of his deceased partners. This man is known as Cao Yu Chang, played by Philip Ko, and he soon backs up his reputation as a professional fighter by taking out hired assassins and their employer in a failed attempt to kill him. Young Wai just so happens to see this on his way to meet with Chu Fun, and once the two size each other up, a rivalry is born where both end up itching for the chance to fight each other. From here, the stage of death and trickery gets set, as both head off to meet with Chu Fun and everyone else he invited, including Chen Fei Sha, played by Lily Lee, so as to hear about the warning he got from the spider, find out what the spider wants, and plan their next move so as to put a stop to the mystery killer's clutches. The Loot has a lot to enjoy, and I found myself having a lot of fun with it after a thorough rewatch. There are some problems in this film worth mentioning, but I believe the good definitely outweighs the bad this time around, so let's talk about it. The pros. The fight choreography is absolutely stellar in this kung fu flick. Every single time an exchange of hands and feet occurred, I was eager to see how the next hits would be landed and how certain strikes would be countered. I'd say Philip Ko was the biggest standout in this department, but not a single person who participated in a fight dropped the ball, and all members of the core cast had highlight moments that are worth seeing multiple times. Another pro for me is the comedic energy that David Chang brought with his character over the course of this movie's events. From his more friendly and mischievous dynamic with Fong Chung, his more heated and aggressive competitiveness with Cao Yu Chang, who I honestly believe would have become his friend under different circumstances, and his funny failures in his attempts to court Chen Fei Sha, the confidence and chaos that Young Wai brings to the screen made The Loot a real treat to watch every time he took actions that propelled the movie forward with humor and intrigue. I also felt Norman Choi's Fong Chung had a compelling arc once it was revealed what his role in the larger plot turned out to be. I took a real liking to how his part in the story was handled while he played a strong, sly, and slightly more serious foil to Chang's character. The cons. For one, while I found myself understanding the overall plot just fine, there was at least one story beat that I felt was a little unclear. I watched this movie in both subtitles and in an English dub, and I found myself rewinding on a certain segment multiple times because of how uncertain I was about what was happening. And as funny as the bit was, it didn't exactly help that the explanation was being provided in tandem with the comedic gag. I can roll with dark comedy at times, but this particular gag somewhat distracted from the major plot reveal that I was trying to focus on. Another con of mine is a nitpick, but it's regarding the dynamic between Philip Ko and Lily Lee's character. I didn't mind at all how fiercely protective Cao Yu Chang was of Chan Fei Sha, nor did I mind how much they had clear affection for each other, but they did not need to be cousins. I'll give the actors points for selling their romantic connection as the movie progressed, but the writers making those two related felt unnecessary, even if that was par for the course in China and or around the time period that this movie depicts. Finally, while the ending was certified gas, the very final scene of the movie after the dust settles seemed to result in someone needlessly getting hurt and possibly even killed. While the humorous bits leading up to those moments worked for me, it seemed like this movie opted for a more abrupt surprise for the sake of a laugh, and I was left confused as to the fate of a certain character, which I had to look up later for clarity. Taking everything into consideration though, I had a really good time watching this. The movie has action and comedy from the get-go, and the mystery regarding who the spider actually is kept me very interested from start to finish. So, given all the pros and cons I've been thinking about, I'm going to give the loot 9 kicks. What did you all think of this movie? Did you have a favorite action performance from any of the core cast? What were your thoughts on the plot twists and turns? Whatever your feelings on this movie are, comment below and let us know. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content updates. This is DK from Lone Wolf and Cub signing off. Take care and make sure to keep your loot safe. Peace.